Good evening. This is NTA ILORIN Weekend Report. I am Abdul Wahid Bibire. First, the highlights. Muslim Media Watch Group advocates fair play, justice and equity in religious programs. We also have some reports that made the headlines during the week. Our discussion segment tonight is on teaching profession challenges and the way forward. We also have updates from the world of sports and weather forecast. Details in a moment. The Muslim Media Watch Group of Nigeria Board of Trustees has held its annual meeting with a pledge not to relent on its efforts at encouraging fair play, justice and equity in hearing religious programs, both in the print and electronic media. The meeting was also an avenue for the board members to chart a way forward for the group. Aisha Abubakar Yahaya has the details.
Media Watch Group of Nigeria was established over 10 years ago with a view to ensuring transparent balancing in news coverage among all faiths practiced in the country in order to maintain equity and justice. The group was also created to assist media organizations in the country to perform efficiently and effectively towards promoting religious peace and harmony across the country. The group has also over the years been able to correct misrepresentation of Islam and Muslims in media organizations by putting in the correct, accurate and true picture of issues at stake in the right perspectives. The Board of Trustees meeting is therefore to, among other things, review the group's achievements in the past years and to also chart a way forward on how the group can keep impacting positively on the society.
Look at the best ways to propagate and project Islam to the outside world, especially non-Muslims.
We want to ensure that programs that are organized by federal and state government that have direct bearing to the masses are given dominance.
At the end of the meeting, board members were able to bring suggestions with new ideas on how the group can move forward.
The vote of the guilty appeal and warns our politicians that they should not turn our country into a battlefield because of their own ambitions.
Quite a number of issues have been happening, and you need the Muslim point of view, and these people are out to champion that.
So I'm happy that some people came around to establish this organization with the sole purpose of serving as the vanguard of defense.
The Board of Trustees meeting of Muslim Media Watch Group is the first after the COVID-19 pandemic. Aisha Abubakar Yahaya, NTA News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission in Kwara State has decried the low turnout of people for the collection of available permanent voter cards. Ahmad Fulani was at the INEC headquarters in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, and filing this report.
2023 general elections gathers momentum. Part of the responsibility of the electorate is to ensure that they are not disenfranchised in order to vote for any candidate of their choice. This is rather taking a different turn, as the electoral umpire revealed that over 100,000 voter cards in Kwara State are yet to be collected. For those who registered during the second and last quarter of the registration, their voter cards, according to INEC, will be ready for collection in November 2022.
Why is it that people are waiting until the last minute rush? It's not expected of people to do that. It happened during the continuous voters registration. People start at home, they didn't come out to come and register until when it becomes very close, when the time is about to expire. They choked up our office.
Eligible voters are implored to visit their registration centers in their respective local government councils to check for their names for onward collection.
The PVCs uncollected, the VIN number and the particulars of the people that registered are pasted so that you just go and look. If you see your name on that list, that means definitely your PVC is there.
The electoral umpire says 9 out of 14 conditions required in preparation for the 2023 general elections has been met, as preparation is in top gear to ensure a free, fair and credible elections. Ahmed Fulani, NTA News.
The House of Assembly of Kwara State has called on Nigerian police force and other security agencies to thoroughly investigate the alleged culpable homicide perpetrated by the embattled Chief Medical Director of Kayama General Hospital, Dr. Adio Adebowale, in order to bring everyone involved to justice and restore people's confidence in public health facilities in the state. Abdulafiz Alaya was at Thursday plenary and now report.
Member representing Kayama Kemaji Wajibe in the House, Abdullahi Dambaba, while raising a matter of general public importance, described the crime allegedly perpetrated by Dr. Adio as unfortunate. The arrest and police revelations on the number of people killed by the embattled Chief Medical Director, according to him, is capable of sending people of Kayama back to the practice of self-medication or patronage of quack doctors. Thus, the need to weed out the likes of Dr. Adio Adebowale and his co-conspirators from the state health facilities in order to restore people's confidence in them. Members in their various contributions agree with the prayers of the prime mover of the matter and urge residents of Kayama and other parts of the state not to be discouraged by the Kayama General Hospital incident and continue to patronize public health facilities.
The only thing we can do to assuage the situation is for us as government to reassure the people that the facility is safe and they should continue to patronize it.
Police and Commissioner, especially Commissioner for Health, can really investigate so that this kind of thing will not happen to any of our health institutions again.
I urge the people to be security cautious, not to take laws into their hands, and have confidence in government that the perpetrators will be brought to justice.
While condoling with families of the victims, the House commended the state government for immediate deployment of another CMD to Kayama General Hospital to avoid vacuum in its operations. Abdulafiz Alaya, NTA News.
Kwara State government will adopt federal government's new age limit and service years for teachers in the state. The state governor, Abdurrahman Abdurazak, told teachers at this year's World Teachers' Day celebration in the state. Raliat Ibrahim reports that the theme for this year's celebration is the transformation of education begins with the teachers.
The 2022 World Teachers' Day celebration in Kwara State afforded stakeholders, including the state governor Abdurrahman Abdurazak, the avenue to appreciate teachers for their commitment to duty and give assurances for improved capacity to boost learning.
We want to do a lot more. For this reason, our administration is looking into adopting the new age limit and service years for teachers. Similarly, we will collaborate with the federal government programs in trying to harness access to homes, home ownership.
NUT chairman in Kwara State, Comrade Bashir Oyewo, appreciates the state government for improvements in the education sector, calling for more to better the loss of teachers.
It provides us the opportunity to re-echo our calls for teachers to be provided with opportunities for training and professional development.
Best performing primary school teachers, secondary school teachers, and teachers in state-owned tertiary institutions were recognized. The 2022 World Teachers' Day celebration in Kwara State is one with a difference. For one, the state government is hosting teachers for the first time. Aside this, several teachers have been selected for recognition and awards in recognition of their performances in their various fields. Also, promises of better welfare packages, training, and whatever equipment that will make them be better teachers have been given by the state government. It is hoped that this year's World Teachers' Day celebration will be a step forward to making education better in the state and the country at large. Raliat Ibrahim, NTA News.
Teachers in Kwara State want the state government to address the disparity in salaries as it affects those under SUBEB and TESCOM. This is one of the concerns raised by teachers at the celebration of the recently marked World Teachers' Day. Again, Raliat Ibrahim has the details.
Teachers under the State Universal Basic Education Board (SUBEB) are not satisfied with their salaries and allowances as their counterparts under the Teaching Service Commission (TESCOM) and other civil servants take home more. Also, arrears owed SUBEB staff by the immediate past government is yet to be fully paid by the current administration of Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak.
Most of these teachers that were posted to the rural areas are back to the urban areas. So our rural areas are still lacking teachers.
3 categories of disparities that are affecting teachers in Kwara State. The first ones are disparity between teachers and the core civil servants in other ministries. If you check them, they usually have their promotion letters with financial benefits as at when due. We want the same thing, sir.
They appreciate the state government for prompt payment of their wages, but still hopeful of a better welfare package and a more conducive learning environment.
I want to applaud His Excellency Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak for what he's doing in the area of education in Kwara State currently. But I want to advise that if he can as well try to double his efforts in this area. One, we want him to pay the arrears of SUBEB staff. It remained almost 3 months' salary that left unpaid.
Teachers are crying internally because of their emoluments. It's not that courage compared to other states. In Lagos State, the governor of Lagos State, His Excellency Sanwo-Olu, he signed increment of salary for civil servants. I wish the same thing happened to us here in Kwara State in order to encourage, most especially teachers.
The state government has used the occasion of this year's World Teachers' Day to promise to address most of the challenges faced by teachers in the state.
Still do note about disparities. We've addressed this issue before. It's an ongoing discussion. The issue of promotion is ongoing. Most of this will be reflected in next year's budget.
Raliat Ibrahim, NTA News.
Our discussion segment tonight on NTA ILORIN Weekend Report is on teaching profession, the challenges and the way forward. And as usual, the guest is already in the studio. He's the Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, Kwara State Wing. He is Comrade Olateju Abdul Karim. Comrade, it's good to have you on NTA ILORIN Weekend Report.
Thank you very much, Senator. I'm glad to be with you for this program.
You actually look like a teacher. Those are teachers in old days with their suit, tie, looking gorgeous. You really show that you are a teacher.
Trained one, certified one.
All right, let's quickly go into the discussion segment properly. Compare and contrast teaching profession in those days and now. What is your assessment of teaching profession then and now?
Thank you very much. Teaching as a profession, first of all, we have to know that teaching is the mother of all professions. Whatever you become, you pass through the teachers. We have made tremendous impact into every sector of our economy in Nigeria and worldwide. So teachers and teaching profession is regarded as being the noble profession in the world.
Okay.
Then
teaching then in those days.
Actually, if you look at it, at that time we have quality teachers as we have today. We have quality teaching as we are having today, but there are pockets of improvement as to what we used to have in those days and now. Today, we have quality recruitment of teachers, especially during this administration where we needed teachers in various subjects. The teachers, trained, certified one.
Before that, let me cut you short. The profession itself, I think, in classroom, what was the performances, so to say, of teachers then and now is what we are trying to x-ray, not recruitment, so to say. How impactful is the teaching profession then and now?
It has been very remarkable then, but there's the largest kind of improvement on the impactfulness of knowledge functions of teachers in those days in the classroom as to the performance of the students, the standard of performance of our students, even in the standard of education that time. So it has been how it is expected in line with the curriculum of studies those years. And when we look at it, this our present contemporary situation now with kind of the much needed scientificism that is expected as to discharge the responsibility and make the knowledge to be a very quality one and impactful to our students. So we have, when we compare, we have an observable, functional teaching now than then. At that time, we discovered that most of what is put in place, was put in place that time, is purely theoretical aspect of it with little practicals. But today, both the theoretical aspect and the practical aspect with some required instructional materials. For example, look at what we are having today in Kwara State as what is being described as a new scheme of how to impart knowledge in our classroom.
The Kwara Learn program.
Brought by this, introduced by this administration. It's very laudable. In those days, you have to do the talk and choking. But now, the Kwara Learn
ICT, Information Communication Technology.
Especially from what we have seen from this Kwara Learn that was brought by this government, is checkmating.
Okay, Comrade Olateju, what about the commitment level of teachers and then and now? Will you say that the present commitment is higher than that of those days?
You see, it depends on the indices, the way you see it. In those days, we will not say our teachers are not all that committed. They are committed within, there's what I would call situational commitment at that time, within the available teaching resources they have in terms of instructional material. But as time goes on, modernity, sophistication, and our experience in teaching, all the methodology, principle, and practice of education that are now calling for more of this instructional material that are made available, we can say that there's an astronomical improvement in terms of the commitment of the teachers we have today.
Is teaching profession for any person?
No, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be in the sense that teaching is a plan structure. It has its own plan structure that you must undergo, because you see, one fact remains that of all the professions, it is the teaching profession that handles a balanced and well-settled, healthy, mentally, physically, socially persons. You deal with somebody who is mentally okay, psychosocially balanced, and you want to develop, you want to improve it. So you cannot give such a responsibility
to anybody.
To just anybody coming in to say, yes, I want to teach, and you just give it to them. What about the theoretical aspect of the knowledge that you need to apply when you get to the field with the student? You become more friendly, you become a parent to your pupils. How you are going to do it, everything has been put in place, you have been taught, you have been examined, you have been evaluated and satisfied by various institutions of learning.
So teachers are specially made people?
They are specially made people to deal with a specialized situation in the development of humanity. So the job cannot just be given to just anybody. It's not all comers' job. Like, let me, sorry, Mr. Presenter, and that is why I'm hammering on the latest recruitment perfected by this administration. They employ the real teacher we need, and not just anybody who wants to use it as a stepping stone to another greener pasture.
Okay, for instance, let's say I studied, so to say, let's say chemistry, and can I just walk into a class and start teaching?
That is what I'm saying, that we have corrected that. And that is why there is this scheme of PGDE for whoever is already in the teaching profession as a teacher and you are not knowledgeable enough in terms of the principle and practice and the philosophy of education as to the psychology of education, because everything you have to put in place to improve on the knowledge of our pupils. So there is a scheme for it. If you have a HND, OND, engineering, and without education, you know, there's a program for you to go and rectify and make yourself to be professionally trained, professional body that can handle these little children so that they will not be at a disadvantage in terms of when you are giving them this knowledge. So there's a limit to that. And at this juncture, I want to employ that we look back to the days of teacher training colleges. So it's just like you're taking somebody who has been trained to teach our students, to make them and structure them to their other potentials that will make them to be useful to themselves and the society in general. So the Teachers College in those days has all this, gave us the rudiment of what will make you to be a teacher. It is not just handling textbook and you are reading, you are interpreting.
No, most of those teachers training colleges are no longer existing. So are you saying that the government should look into that? But we have our colleges of education. I think they are replicating what...
no, colleges of education are an advanced level of professionally structured institution. The teachers' colleges, I went to teachers' college, Nusa Teachers' College. So, and we knew what we used to have as a teacher there. There's no anything, other thing that you are being specially instructed on in the school than how you can teach, and not just teaching, but teaching effectively and efficiently, so that our students will have the base for them to move up to these colleges of education, advanced teachers colleges and so on. So I am calling for a revisitation to the fact that the colleges, the teachers colleges must be reintroduced, because most of those who are on the field now, once those who have passed through teacher training colleges,
there's this thing I want to ask you. Training and retraining of teachers, they said is very key to the performances of both the teachers and the students they'll be churning out. How often should a teacher be trained?
We don't have to say teachers should be trained twice or retrained twice or be exposed to training and retraining 5 times. You know, as long as you are still in the profession, there are certain situational challenges, circumstantial challenges that you need to. So you have to go for training and retraining at any point in time. It should be as frequently as possible, because the society is changing and we have to change along with the changes that we are facing in the society. So vis-a-vis is going to cut across trying to discourage all these tendency of indisciplines, such as insurgency and so on. The teacher, when it is exposed more and more to what we are facing here and how to curb it, the society will be an egalitarian society, and the aims and objectives of the national policy on education and that of the national objective will be achieved.
All right, what are the identified challenges you observe in teaching profession these days?
Honestly, I would say I can categorize it into 2. And basically, the welfare of the manager of this institution, this profession. So, in order to boost the morale of the teacher, because most of the time you cannot even get the ready-made instructional material, the teachers are trained to improvise. And when you are improvising, you are spending from your own meager resources. So I believe the problem we have in Nigeria or in the world today, if teachers are well paid, if teachers are well remunerated, If teachers are given, like we have heard in the United States, that the best paid staff are teachers. So if we can do that in our own country too, honestly, the answer to progress, development, of all our sectors is the teachers' welfareism.
All right, Comrade Olatoju, our time is fast spent. I hope that we'll try as much as possible as we can in NTA to bring you back to the studio so that we'll further discuss teaching profession, its challenges and way forward. Although you've highlighted some of these solutions to teaching profession, now we move on to sports. Nigeria's under 23 team will camp in Ibadan ahead of the team's African under 23 Cup of Nations qualifying fixtures against their Tanzania counterpart this month. Abdulaziz Alaya has the details.
The under-23 men national team, according to a statement from the Nigerian Football Federation, will camp and prosecute their qualifying campaigns in Ibadan. While Tanzania will host the first leg of the feature in October 21, the return leg is scheduled for Saturday, October 29 at Lake and Salami Stadium, Ibadan, and 32 players have been invited to the camp. President of NFF, Ibrahim Gusau, has however commended the Ministry of Youth and Sport Development for securing the camp for the team, as it will aid the preparation of the Olympic Eagles for their qualifying campaigns. Meanwhile, Nigeria's Victor Osimhen may be available for selection when Napoli takes on Cremonese on Sunday. Osimhen has been out of action since he sustained a hamstring injury in Napoli's 4-1 victory over Liverpool in the Champions League last month. Although the 23-year-old striker returned to individual training last week, he was not considered fit for Napoli class at Ajax on Tuesday. However, reports from Il Mattino indicate that Osimhen looks set to be named in Napoli's squad that will take on Cremonese on Sunday. Abdelaziz Alaya, NTA News.
And our sports report wraps it up on NTA ILORIN Weekend Report. Thanks for being part of the show. Good night.